Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Twin Dragons, a Hong Kong action comedy from 1992 that stars Jackie Chan, Maggie Cheung, and Nina Li Chi. It was directed by Ringo and Tsui Hark. On holidays in Hong Kong, Mrs. Ma gives birth to identical twins. A criminal in the same hospital attempts to escape, taking one of the twins hostage. The child is lost during the confusion, and Mr. and Mrs. Ma return to New York with one child. Years later, Ma Yau, played by Jackie Chan, is a famous conductor and pianist, unaware that his twin brother, Boomer, also played by Jackie Chan, is a mechanic bodyguard in Hong Kong. When Ma Yau travels to Hong Kong to give a concert, the twins get caught up in each other's business, about which they are anything but experts. So, the opening scene in this takes place 3 decades in the past, and it's actually presented in black and white for a few minutes. Interesting stylistic choice. I guess it makes sense because the time period is the 1960s, and they want to distinguish that period from the 1990s. In any case, one of the babies is stolen, and it gets lost in a very odd and crazy and contrived way. But this is an action comedy. It's fine. Don't take it too seriously. After that, we are almost immediately transported to the present day where both Jackies are doing their thing. Now, the humor in Twin Dragons is actually pretty good. There's a healthy dose of it, and most of the comedy revolves around having 2 Jackie Chans within the same area, playing different characters, of course. And this causes a lot of unintended confusion for all of the side characters, because everyone in this film has lived their lives interacting with only one of the Jackie Chan brothers, because they didn't even know the other one existed. Either the pianist or the bodyguard. So when they end up unknowingly interacting with the other Jackie, they get all confused. They can't understand why his personality is so different, or why he's not remembering what they talked about yesterday. Now, if you've ever seen the 1988 American movie Big Business with Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin, the gags are very similar to that, with a Jackie Chan twist, of course, right? And, this style of humor, it works. It does work. I like the mall scene where the store manager protects his merchandise from being used in the fight, because you always see, especially in Hong Kong martial arts movies, if 2 dudes are fighting in a shop, it's almost like a bull in a shop. You know what I mean? And stuff starts getting broken all over the place. So this manager was trying his best to save his merchandise, from getting broken. I like that. There are a decent number of cameo appearances, so pay attention to that. Tonally speaking, this is a very light, breezy popcorn movie. It does not take itself very seriously, and it makes it fun. Special effects that are used to show 2 Jackie Chans in the same room, it's pretty good. It's quite good. It looks real enough to suspend disbelief. There are a few, maybe, if you really pay attention, when they cross paths with each other, it might get a little wonky at times, but overall, I was pretty impressed with the special effects and how they shot the film. It does feel like there's 2 Jackie Chans running around. The action is pretty good for most of the movie. The fight in the nightclub has effective execution of some spin kicks. It transitions to Jackie's usual application of surrounding environments. Within the club, they have this outdoor patio design in the interior of it, which was kind of neat. You get chairs and plants and poles in the inside of the building. It's one of those avant-garde club scenes or whatever. But Jackie's bodyguard character can fight, but he does get overwhelmed. He's not a super elite martial arts expert. The boat chase is mostly played for laughs, but there are a few good boat stunts in that. The mall scene is pretty good. All right, it doesn't reach the heights of some of the other mall scenes we're familiar with in Jackie's filmography, but it's good. Now, the action starts to get a little bit better during the final act. We get a longer scene involving a prison bus hijacking that takes place in conjunction with an orchestra concert. And it's 2 separate scenes going on at the same time. Very eventful, and both of the lead characters are capable of screwing anything up because they end up having to swap places. So they have to adapt to a situation that the other guy would typically be in. So that was pretty interesting, construction of that scene. the second best action set piece in the movie. And then the highlight is the finale, all right? And the best parts take place in this, like, vehicle research test center, I guess you would call it. It's a building that, like, tests for safety and damage endurance for cars. And the set piece itself is not, like, hugely bombastic. You know, he's not, like, swinging off a ladder in a helicopter, like, you know, in Super Cop or whatever. But it's impressive, and it reminds us why we watch his movies. There's some very interesting choreography in the scene. A lot of car-related shenanigans. And the coolest stunts in this movie really showcase his athleticism and willingness to do some dangerous stuff. Back when I first started watching, like, Jackie Chan's movies back in the day, I always remembered the final fight in this movie. Like, it stands out to me. So it's very good stuff. As an added bonus, some of the nighttime scenes have some nice lighting. Most of the film does take place in, like, urban locales, like hotels and concert halls. A little bit different from your typical Jackie movie, right? So, I mean, Twin Dragons is a fun flick. If for some reason this flew under your radar, I recommend it. It's available streaming on Tubi, and it also has a Region B Blu-ray release from 88 Films. It's a good one. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.